So with our handsome Mr. K, I wanted to see if we could do a little bit with going, nice job, to his place. I know we worked this a little bit earlier with Mr. Z as well. So I wanted our handsome guy to start building up. Going to a target spot has value. So obviously for a lot of the babes, being stationary does seem kind of lame. Because a lot of times when you're stationary, you're not having as much fun as you could while you're exploring or, grabbing for things or doing your own exploration moment. So right now for Mr. K, he's really liking these snacks, a little saliva. So right now I'm building up just that. Going to our target spot has a lot of great value, but again, reinforcing kind of heavily while he's on the target. I haven't applied the stay or any other cue to it yet. We might just said bed, and then go ahead and go right there, yes, and then feed the handsome guy for his targeting. So remember, going to our mat should not equal stressful or overwhelming. We're gonna see if we can get a little down for Mr. K. If again, he's a little bit unsure, you could lure him into the down position. If he's never done a down on a dog bed like this is a cot that kind of feels hollow underneath. So there's like this, again, hammock material. For some of the babes, if they're not quite as comfortable, they may not be able to offer a down position. If they've never really done a down, don't worry, I actually forgot to ask if he knows how to rock downs yet. So for the handsome guy, if let's say right now, sit is his go-to dance move, not a big deal. He's also panting because we were just playing with the flirt pole, which is, again, one of his new best friends. So he has been doing a really nice job with his taking of the flirt pole, playing, chasing, and then also dropping. So really nice option for him for, oh my goodness, chewing, still optional. But really nice venue for him because he's so agile. There it is. Good job. Is that he's so agile that a lot of times, I know you were mentioning agility or something fun like that would be something you'd be interested in. I do have a wonderful friend and colleague that does offer some agility as well. So I can send you her resources if you're interested. I know I mentioned I do my confidence building class, which does include some of that agility equipment, but it's not like an agility class. So again, right now we're just feeding Mr. K for going to his spot. I'm just going to go ahead. We'll sort of get him up and wiggling. So let's say I'm going to apply my stay cue to this, again, this spot. Remember, stays can happen anywhere, but I do find for a lot of dogs, giving them a visual in the beginning to hone in on a dog bed or a cot to be immensely beneficial to get your babe to find there's value in vegging and relaxing. So let's say, again, I'm going to tell him to stay. And if let's say stay in the beginning, notice how when I moved away, he had a harder time. If let's say moving is too hard, start off in front of your babe and just work with the time frame. So again, stay, and we're going to feed for that. So if let's say me moving was a little bit hard, I'm not going to go very far from him, but I might meander while still being sort of nearby. So again, I want to make sure that the rate of reinforcement is high enough where Mr. K finds it valuable to stay put. So let's say I want to end my stay. I would feed him his last snack. I would say, all done. You could pat your babe if they don't dislike touch. I will sometimes wiggle my fingers, but not feed for getting off of the thing or out of the stay position. So again, we're going to go ahead and get that sit. I might right there go ahead and feed that because I want him to think there's, again, value in trying all of his skills. I'm going to tell him to stay. And now, again, we're going to work a little bit while I just kind of stay nearby. So I know we discussed the 3Ds earlier. So if you're a little bit unsure, definitely check out Mr. Z, so Zeus's video where he was working on the cot. So again, we're going to reapply the stay just because he wiggled a little bit. And if, let's say, this gets really hard. So a lot of times as your puppies are generalizing a skill, they might get a little wiggly when they get confused. So I'm going to tell them to stay. I'm going to go ahead and feed again from not too far away. And chewing is still so hard. Nice. So right now I'm just feeding several little tidbits while Mr. K is working this place position in working his stay. So right here, feed his little snack. I would say all done. You can again pick whichever release word you'd like. So some people say all done. Some people use the word finish, release, all set. You can choose whatever you prefer. The other way to practice, oh my goodness, sir, chewing is very optional, is I'm just going to grab something real quick. It's a little bit out of the camera. It's a little chew. So like this is just a bone that I have a little bit of some cheese shoved into. So the other option would be to pair, for example, a chew or lick item. For him, it's just this lovely, well, it used to be a whole knuckle bone is what they call them, but parts of it have come off at the top. So right now it's mostly just a really nice hollow shape that you can stuff other things into. So I will sometimes shove in, I like American cheese is nice because it squeezes in there quite lovely. But really it could be any type of stuffing you'd like. These are nice because again, you can use whatever vessel you'd like. Some people will have a Kong, they might use a topple. You could use a licky item like a mat. So what I'd like to do is while the handsome guy is also pairing the sort of vegging on the mat with this lick item, I want to then also reinforce him on top of doing such a good job on his target mat by feeding him throughout it. So this would be also a great way to help him with like prevent the resource guarding or help him feel more comfortable when he does have items. Remember that if we are still struggling with stolen goods or, for example, swiping things, I know you had mentioned he's very agile and he managed to somehow pull a book from the bookshelf and then start to want to, gobble it up. So to your best ability, I know you're doing your darndest to keep this boy safe, but at times they are sometimes very challenging because some are, very inventive and others are not, so they do vary. So, but part of it could be also making sure that mentally and physically he's had enough of that enrichment. Because sometimes if dogs are feeling like their needs haven't been met, maybe, and again, it's a rainy, gross day, no one wants to go play outside. But that could be adding extra sniffy time. So maybe we do foraging for snacks up and down the hall. Or we add a sniffy sort of scenario like a snuffle mat or whatever he's capable of rocking. Some puppies with the snuffle mats try to ingest the mat itself. So we may find he does better with slow feed bowls. We could fill them, freeze them, and then give it to him frozen. But whenever your babe is able to lick, gnaw, or chew on things, that's going to give them an out where otherwise physically he can't do as much maybe for the day. So while he's enjoying his bone, I'm just going to nonchalantly, I haven't applied a stay, I haven't given him like a slogan to work on something, but I'm going to do the treat and retreat. So as my dog is enjoying a chew, this is a great way to build up that me coming nearby isn't the end of the game, but also doesn't create conflict. So I know I've discussed this in different videos, like the treats could be tossed into kibble of his food dish. It could be while he's enjoying a chew of some kind, you toss a couple snacks at him. The goal that we're hoping to acquire with this is he could then find that when you pass by, it becomes even cooler than it would have been had I not been near. So this doesn't mean 24/7. Am I going to be bothering the dog while they're finally enjoying something or relaxing? But I want my puppy, and my little one was banging, so I just wanted to check what she was doing. So let's say he's enjoying his treats. He's been doing a really nice job taking little breathers and finding the snacks on his bed. I'm going to again toss another little snack and move away. So what I would be teaching my handsome guy is in the beginning, me coming near equals I made it even cooler than it once was. Eventually, I'd want to be able to go Kugel and get his attention and have him go do a little find it for a few crumbs over here and then have him bounce back and forth. So if my puppy didn't feel comfortable leaving his target with his item that he finds intriguing to move away, if that's too hard, make sure to start with lower value items as the chew and then higher value goodies for disengaging. So this way I'm showing Mr. K that getting up doesn't mean the toy or the item goes away, and that taking a break from the item can still be nice because you get a little snack over here for moving and you can always go back again. So with Mr. K, I might go, ready, Kugel, get his attention, ready, find it, and see if we would go and get up and wiggle. So I'm not going to do this incessantly where my dog's like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. But what you're looking for your babe to do is feel comfortable enough to take a break from the higher value or the chew item, whatever it might be, and practice bouncing back and forth. Because let's say we do need to take the item away because he needs to go to the restroom and he just won't stop chewing, or whatever scenario. If I just go and swipe it from him, I might then start to create the situation where he might get overwhelmed the next time I try to take something. Because if we start to always become the end of the game or the bringer of the maybe not so good from his aspect, so like the negative aspect of that, we want him to start thinking that when I come nearby, good things happen, or that when I come nearby, I might make the situation better than it once was, and that not every time I come by doesn't mean the game's over. So I might go, Kugel, ready? Find it. And then let's say in this moment, maybe I did have to take the item away because I want to go do another exercise. The other option too, let's say you weren't going to be needing to take it away. I have the item. I'm going to now put a few snacks inside of it, make it cooler than it once was. And now again, I've restuffed his really cool bone. So now it seems even nicer that I came by to interrupt the handsome guy. So obviously this is a great way to practice avoiding and also preventing resource guarding, but at the same time, creating good associations with you going near or around your babe. The other option too is now let's say you were working on this relaxation, sort of vegging in your spot. You could give your dog something to chew on and know you haven't applied the stay or anything like that. But then maybe on purpose, you go and make some distractions or you start loading the dishwasher or whatever it might be. And now your dog could be hanging out. And then for not moving, I'm going to toss a few snacks and then continue to go be a little distracting. So this way, as my dog is working on just vegging in that spot, he can start to feel that there's value and maybe not always looking to see what is the person doing. And then that can build up this place behavior or eventually his stay down the road too. So don't feel it has to always be you telling him to stay. You can also just have him hang out and start to build value by enjoying the chew as he's vegging in that spot. Nice, good job. But notice how as I come near, good job. He starts to associate me coming nearby as almost like do a little check-in and good things happen. So definitely see if you can keep trying to work a little bit with some of these exercises. So like maybe, for example, he doesn't really have a dog bed to play or practice on yet because maybe he tries to break certain things. This is where if you are going to practice with a material type blanket or target, only have it out when you're there to help him and supervise him. This applies to obviously puppies and adult dogs because all of them vary to their capacity for being safe with certain items. So just because I might recommend a chew or an option for one babe does not always mean it is acceptable when unsupervised. And it may not be acceptable for all dogs because some of them are harder chewers. Some of them might have gulping histories where they try to swallow things and that can become an obstruction. So we really want to make sure that whatever we're working on is an attainable or easy enough step for your particular dog. So with Mr. K, he did a very nice job working with his place, building up that going to his spot has value, and then also taking little breaks from his bone. Ready? Find it. May not be a bad idea either. So definitely things to keep maintaining as your pups are going from puppyhood into adolescence and into adulthood. So again, right here, I might go, ready, sit. And he knows that one for sure, so nice job. But we'll give Mr. K a little break from his bed, working that place or the beginning stages of stay, and then also working with a high value chew and bouncing back and forth between that and the environment. But he did a very nice job, so we'll work a few more skills after this.